Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold on eBay only because that's the only platform I sold on those 4 days. Oh no, what's wrong? Don't know. But thankfully eBay just continues to do quite well for me. I had one down day, Tuesday in this week. This what sold is for Monday through Thursday last week, May 6th through the 9th. Tuesday was very, very low for me, but then the other 3 days were excellent, so it just kind of was a wash. Everything continues to be pretty decent for me, except for sourcing. Sourcing is stinking here, y'all. It's so bad for us right now that I'm going to probably go to Nashville in the next few days and spend a couple of days and get, some stuff so that I can keep doing my, 15, 20 items a day. I'm kind of taking it down a little bit right now because we're getting ready to go on vacation, and I want to have listings on hold so that while we're on vacation, I'll have stuff to continue to list just to kind of keep the algorithm normal. So I'm going to start, I think I was doing 25 for quite a while during this year, and then I bumped it back to 20, and now I think I'm going to bump it back to 15. But we're not finding anything. It's just the oddest thing. Anybody else seeing just fewer yard sales than ever? Because this is already past mid-May. Usually the end of March we start seeing yard sales, and by now they're many a weekend spread out all over our area, but very few. And the ones that we're having, it's that their prices are just not what they used to be, and it's a lot of just junk, things that I'm not wanting to pick up. I wouldn't pick up normally, and I'm not desperate enough to pick up stuff that I don't really think is good. I've learned my lesson about sourcing and not getting to it right away because it's blah. I'm trying not to do that. We went to Goodwill today and there was a really cute bear, and I think it was $2.99, which I don't like paying $2.99, but I just told myself, just say no, just say no, because I need to be wiser with the things that I'm sourcing. It's just, I don't ever want to feel overwhelmed like I was last year with just all the inventory. Now, I have complete shelves that are empty. We've done such an amazing just getting through them. Roberts came down here and just I'm to the point where it's things I just don't know what to do with. I just don't know. And so the other day he came down here and he was just pick something up. He'd test it. He'd look it up and he would decide for me. And he just kept putting stuff in donate piles and discard piles because, that's where I am. And, when we do finally find good stuff to source, it's clothes. It's clothes, and I like sharing toys and other things with you guys also. But down in the comments, tell me something that you sold this week that was interesting for, it was a high dollar, it was something you enjoy picking up, anything like that. Share down in below. Go ahead and help everybody with, sourcing, because sourcing's stinking right now. It's getting a little crazy that I'm already considering doing a quick bins trip just so that I have, inventory that I can go ahead and get processed and I'm ready to get listed so that I have plenty of stuff while we're on vacation. Let's get to it. Like I said, this is all eBay because nothing sold on the other platforms. First thing is a Kelly Toy hot pink bear. Been one of my old listings. And it sold for $13.45. I think Robert looked up how many of, we coded all of our custom SKUs so that I know when things were listed, unless it was listed before January of last year. Then we just put in a a code 2212. And like when you're looking at my custom label that's all the way at the top of the screen, you see the 2212. So it was listed before last January. And I think when I decided to become more aggressive to get this stuff gone, I was about 8,500 of these listings. And I started middle of last year. We'll just say June. I only had like 10,000 listings and 8,500 of them were old inventory. I just hadn't focused on moving the old stuff, and I was in that frame of mind, list it and forget it. Well, I can't do that. You know, I like sourcing the way we're sourcing now, where we buy a lot of stuff at the bins and then I just process it over several months, and I just can't keep accumulating. And we checked, I think this last week or so, and I'm about, I want to say 5,600 or so. So probably about almost 3,000 items, give or take, that I have sold in less than a year of the old inventory. And I'm over 11,000 items now, which means, you know, it's less than half of my inventory at this point. So, you know, that's a big difference that, you know, I'm listing more stuff and selling a lot of the older stuff. So just thoughts that are out there. All right, next thing is Arot men's jeans. If they've got lots of holes in them that aren't just that little frayed kind of stuff, I've been using the word destroyed just to kind of let them know that it's got significant wear, but Arot is a good brand to pick up usually. And these took, well, no, these sold right after I listed them for a best offer of $18. Just because there's lots of holes, it really depends on the brand, but don't just discard them. Some people like that. Chaps men's jeans sold for $15.01. Maidenhead Velociraptor dinosaur. These are the 18-inch like rubber. They're really squishy foam type dinosaurs. Toys R Us sold a lot of them, and it took a little while to sell, but it finally did sell for $17.95. Wish Pets. It's a brand I like picking up, but I need to kind of be very selective in what I'm picking up because it does take a while to sell. This one only took 3 months. It was a African wild dog, and it sold for $13.72. You know, when it's a different kind of plush, a different breed that's not the normals, definitely check the comps. Age of Wisdom men's shirt sold for an offer of $10. If you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping, so when I say something sold for $10, the buyer did pay extra for shipping. I think this was on our homeschool curriculum shelf that I've been trying to clear off some of it. You know, RJ's going into, he's going to be a junior this next school year. And we've just kind of let this kind of stuff accumulate. But this was a Junior Scientist Series mini rhinoceros building set. I don't think, a lot of it was still sealed in their packages. I still tend to list most things as used. I've talked about that in the past. And it sold in about 2 months for $17.95. Kids of America White Monkey Plush says, I love you there on the little heart pillow. Again, another older listing, and glad to see it gone at $14.14. Polly Pocket Doll Lot. These had the magnetic little clips that clicked onto the doll. I only had the one doll. I had a huge, huge tote of these types of dolls. There were the princess dolls with the rubbery clothes, the princess dolls with the clip-on clothes. It was massive, and it took me forever to sort through. But, you know, it's been selling. This lot with just the one doll and lots of clothes sold for $15. White Dog Plush from Dandy International, sold for $9.33. Bread and butter, y'all. Now, these were from the high bid estate sale that we won over 3 years ago. You know, I love when I get offers on this stuff, because at this point, you know, I'm ready for it to also be gone. I'm sending out more aggressive offers on all of that stuff. But so much of this was just very unique plush that kind of had to wait for the right buyer. These were all, I guess, like advertising bears for Bell Atlantic phone service. I decided to put all 4 of them together, and I took a best offer of $25. This was in the Barbie lot of stuff back beginning of the year when I started really going through the profit piles. This was in that stuff. It is a Mattel Barbie Glam Pink Glitter Convertible car. Not a high dollar seller, but it did sell in about a month, $9.86. Disney Planes, I guess his name is Drip, plastic vehicle. I've not watched that movie. I'm not quite sure. I think when I picked it up, I probably thought it was Cars. It's not. And again, it was in the profit pile stuff, sold for $10. This is a viewer sale, so thank you so much, Tracy. Tracy bought this Halloween black cat plush. It's like table decoration, sold for $13.45. Thank you again, Tracy. All right, Dex Tan Bear Plush. This is one of those heartbeat bears. Probably not something I'm going to ever pick up again. It probably was a bins pickup at some point or in a bulk load. They just take forever to sell, and it sold on an offer of $12.50. This too was in the profit pile because I didn't know what they were. They're peg people, and I guess they're like really vintage play school. Had some condition issues. I listed it last month, and it sold for $7 for the 2 of them. This was from the bulk lot of HO scale stuff that we picked up. A lot of it was in their original boxes. But these were loosey-goosey, and I just never got to them. I had them stuck in the box that with some other stuff that was just kind of, I didn't know what to do with it. Decided I'm going to empty out that box one way or another, and listed them, and they sold immediately. These are just little black bridges by Bachman, and $17.95. These, I'm pretty sure this was from that lot of clothes that I bought last summer, where I got that sweater. I've already, Karen, no, something Kane. I don't even remember at this point, but that high-end sweater that I had no clue what I had found, and it sold for $200. This was part of that. I had never seen Free People shoes, and they were in excellent condition. But since they had been listed since August of last year, I got a $49 offer on them, and I decided to go ahead and let's keep it going. Keep them moving. Picked these up at the private pick estate sale that we went to last year, where I bought tons and tons and tons of plush, but some vintage stuff also. I want to say I picked up like 4 sets of these. This set of Eberhard Faber writing pencils sold for $18, and I've actually sold another one since. So it's just kind of funny when I have multiple quantities of something. It'll sometimes sit for a while, and then once I sell one, then I start selling more of them. It's just one of those odd things, but $18 for a dozen pencils. I'm pretty sure these, we wouldn't have picked these up. These are Shine women's baggy jeans. They had tons of them listed, but we've got them in that bulk Goodwill blue box set of denim jeans that we picked up. We bought 2 boxes when they were like buy one get one type thing. We did a video on all of them. And it's just been something that I started processing here in the last few months. I kind of set them aside for a while, but they were blocking where I needed to be working, and so I went ahead and got them all listed. But you know what? I listed them in March and they sold, so I don't find that terribly slow, but it was for $8, but they're gone. Enzo Angiolini gold tone women's loafers. Pretty sure this was from my favorite little estate sale. I either paid $2 for them during the regular sale or $1 for them at their half price sale. But they sold for a best offer of $15. Ralph Lauren women's purple pants. Again, took forever to sell, and they sold for $11.26. Disney Tsum Tsum mini plush. I had lots of these, somebody told me Zoom Zoom plushes listed, and I took them all down and I reshuffled them, trying to just figure out the best way to get them sold. These were both from Lion King. You know, I had some Disney princess ones, some like Marvel characters. So I'm thinking at some point now I've got like certain characters or girl plush or what I consider boy plush. I don't know. But they, you know, I like picking them up at the bins, but they do take a while to sell. These two, though, sold for $8.96. BKE women's jeans. This series or style is called Stella. We do very well with BKE. Sold for $23.11. Dandy Flower Dog Plush. Another old listing, sold for $9.86. Story time. These, y'all, I talk about the vinyl vintage bibs. Anytime I find them, I pick them up. These, I put these two together. They both were Gerber. They were the same style. Kind of threw a hefty price on there, and I got somebody who sent me a message wanting just the one there on the right. Kind of looks like cats or something in the train or on a car or whatever. At first I was like, I'd rather not split them up. You know, I just didn't want to end it and take more pictures, anything like that. They sent me an offer. I think I counter offered at $39, thinking, you know, why not? And she went ahead and accepted my offer and then sent me a message saying, please don't send the dinosaur one. So what I decided to do is I gave her her shipping back and went ahead and shipped just the one that she wanted, and I have since relisted the dinosaur one. But, you know, I just felt at least I gave her her shipping back, even though she was willing to pay $39 for one bib. You know, it was just, you know, what would you have done? Would you have gone ahead and taken it down and split it up? But, you know, I got $39 for one bib, so it worked out for me. And now I think I've listed the other one again for $25. Men's coat zip out liner. I think the brand there is like Gil Co. Never heard of it. And it's selling in basically late spring, almost early summer here. But it's still sold. Full asking price, $52.68. I pick up most plush that are these backpacks. This one is by Pyramid. Handbags. It's 101 Dalmatian backpack purse. And it sold for $26.95. Brass. Selling little by little. This was a pierced decorative planter. Sold for $12.10. Clark's Miami Beach sandals. These were listed this time last year. So when I got an offer on them, I just went ahead and accepted them. You know, sometimes y'all, you know, it's not worth the $1 or $2 or $3 that somebody sends you an offer that's below what you really wanted for it, because, you know, a lot of times you can just go ahead and make it sold and take that money and go buy more stuff. You know, just sometimes you just got to remind yourself. Robert is always reminding me if an offer comes in and the item's been listed for a while, if it's, you know, 30% off, just go ahead and sell it. Just go ahead and sell it. And so I've kind of done better with that. Just, you know, it's not worth the $1 or $2, you know, more when you could just make it gone and get that profit and move on. IKEA, I guess Goss Brown Bear Plush. Definitely one to be looking for. This one sold for $31.45. Presto Tater Twister. Y'all, this thing has been all over my basement because at one point I lost the little white cup that was supposed to be with it. And then at another time I couldn't find the instructions that were supposed to be with it. And finally, during all of this cleaning out stuff, I got all the pieces back together. Hell, it sold almost immediately. So definitely be one of those ones to be looking out for. It is a Presto Tater Twister Curly French Fry Cutter. $20. Very quickly. Again, I just was talking about this. I went probably a year of having these listed, didn't sell a single one. I bought them at the 100-mile yard sale, paid $5 for a case of these cups and a case of the saucers, and now they're just every week. In fact, I sold 2 during this time period, but I'm just going to show you the one sale. But they've just been consistent now for me, you know, 1 or 2 a week. But these were Buffalo China restaurant ware cup and saucer, and this one sold for $9.86. Universal Thread women's jeans. That's a Target brand. Not one that I would particularly pick up, especially also when they're jeggings. Jeggings just don't do very well for us, but these still sold almost immediately for $10. I found a whole box of camera stuff and other electronic type stuff that belonged to RJ's grandpa. When he passed away, RJ's grandma let me go through some of his stuff before she went ahead and donated it. So I had grabbed just some things, some cameras, some film, some bulbs, and it just kind of sat here for a while because it's kind of out of my norm. But again, I grabbed a box and I told myself I was going to do something with everything in that box, and this was part of it. Sold very quickly. These are Sony blank cassettes type HFS90. They were sealed still in their original packaging. $19. FisherPrice Sweet Streets. Picked these up at the bins. You know, I've mentioned previously, I bought a bunch of them. The bigger buildings are not selling very well for me. I mean, I've sold a couple of them already, but I think this point forward, I'll probably just pick up a lot of the smaller sets and the accessories. But this was a petting farm building and the trailer, and it sold for $18.59. I wouldn't doubt maybe that this came with me when I bought this house 13 years ago, 12 and a half years ago. So it's been listed a long time, and I'm so happy to see that it finally sold. It is a Russ Cowboy Orange Puffball Plush, sold for $8.05. Columbia Titanium Women's Short Sleeve Shirt, sold for $11.41. A lot of bread and butter, but y'all, pays the bills. Pays my bills. All right, another viewer sale, so thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry bought this Wild Republic orangutan plush that I showed recently in a haul for $17.95. So thanks again, Sherry. Kohl's Goodnight Moon Rabbit plush. I like picking up Kohl's. It is probably one of those that I will continue to pick up. Most of them are bread and butter. I just like them. I like character plush. Still ain't found any books to go with them, but this one sold for $8.05. And here's another viewer sale. This is Sherry with the 2 R's, so thank you, Sherry. Sherry bought this giant microbes Mad Cow Plush for $6. Another very quick sell. Y'all have been doing the small appliances. Some of it I part out, some of it I'm leaving, you know, in. This had more stuff to it, but I just went ahead and kept this part together. It was in Sunbeam Oscar food processor chopper made in France, and it sold very quickly, $24.25. Wallace Berry Baby Koala Plush from 1977. I have a feeling this plush like went with another plush that had their arms wrapped around it, like a mommy and baby type thing, because it was only like 4 inches. And it sold for $12.95. This was in my piles of stuff I didn't know what it was, and I hadn't taken the time to figure it out, but Google Lens to the save. It went to a game called Romper Room Gingerbread Game. I guess you drop stuff down into that chimney looking thing and it sorted stuff out. I don't know. It had some condition issues, but I've learned, you know, especially with the vintage toys, somebody might still want it in no matter what condition that it is. And this thing sold in less than a month for $11. Elmo. I love Sesame Street. You know, I have a few little characters right there, and then I have my Muppets over there, but it just doesn't sell very well anymore. Not quite sure, especially Elmo, Cookie Monster, Big Bird. They just are very slow movers for me. This Elmo was Hasbro from 2014, and he sold for $9.86. This is Toy Factory. I remember when I found this at the bins thinking, you know, it was Kelly Toy or something like that, but it was Toy Factory, which, you know, I don't say really nice things about that brand very often. They put out a lot of character type plush, which that's the reason why I picked them up. But just really not normally good quality. But this was, I thought it was decent quality, and I think I've picked up a couple of more that are just not their normal poorer quality stuff, if that makes any sense. But this was a 16-inch plush with gold glitter eyes, and he sold for $22.45. All right, this was a welcome jigsaw puzzle. Not sure if this was a yard sale pickup or possibly when we went to that finders, keepers, bins type store several years ago. I bought a bunch of puzzles and backpacks and stuff like that there. Everything was $1 that day. But this puzzle finally sold for $8.05. And then my best sell of the week was a Robert find. Yay! And again, it sat here forever because this thing is huge and needed packed. But it is a Bullworker X5 Power Gym Isometric Exerciser. I guess there's 2 different ones. One was made in England, one was made in Japan. I can't remember which one was better, but I'm very happy. This one sold for $59. Y'all, it was 35 inches long. I think Robert ended up packing it in like the shoebox and then telescoped the priority boxes together. I think that's how he ended up packing it. But yeah, nice sell, because I'm sure we only paid $5 or less for it, and it sold for $59. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this. Lots of bread and butter that is going out right now, but that's fine because a lot of it is my old stuff, and I'm really, really wanting to thin out some of the older inventory so I have room for the newer inventory. All right, y'all. Get to work. Bye.